Hey everybody, welcome to this show. Whatever we're naming it, it's probably on the thumbnail. There's definitely some kind of clickbait Afro beard thing. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah,
Yeah, a
that would
chat
be
with
good.
Fluff. A chat with Mr. Fluff. Daddy Fluff?
Afros and Afros and Beards.
Like it. A new channel,
Mm.
possibly. We were talking obviously behind the scenes, but we're just going to continue. The main reason we're here, I guess, is to hang out and talk about nothing. But we will mention the course that you've done at some point because that gives this video an actual point and something to aim towards.
Sure. But talking
But
about nothing is pretty fun.
it is,
It is pretty fun.
and
So
we get paid to do that.
that's right, dude. How cool is that?
I know. Oh, let's find some common ground, some more common ground. Let's talk about Jupiter Effects OMAC amp.
Okay. I think. Okay. First of all, it's the heaviest amplifier I think I've
Not like heavy, but
ever
in weight.
physically heavy. I don't know what the trans or I don't know what the conversion is, but here in the States it's 75 pounds.
That's
And that
about
is
1,000 florins, I think, here in Europe.
it's it's so dude, I don't ever want to move it. I put it on the shelf and it sat on this table for like 3 months because I was like, I don't want to move this thing because it's almost as heavy as a Mesa 412 cap.
70.
And it sounds like it
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. It's
It's
an amazing amp, and I really enjoyed your video. It was really fun, and I got to play
Thank
it
you.
last year at an event. I didn't really get as much time as you, and therefore I lived vicariously through you and your fun
Thank
with the
you.
amp. So it was really cool to watch.
It's very, very rare that like I am very lucky that I get to try and plug into a lot of different stuff. And this was a very rare instance where I was like, I don't want to send this back. Can I just pay you for it? Can I just buy this thing? Like, does this have to go back? And he was like, wait, really? You want to buy it? And I was like, yeah, let me buy it. And I bought it. So
I know.
yeah,
I was
I
talking
can
to
live with
Chris
that.
about it, and he was really pleased, and he's right to be pleased because it's a damn fine amplifier.
Dude, it's so good. And also, there's a lot of like old Sun Model T trolls out there that are like, that's not as good as my. Shut up.
It works. It works well. It
Just
sounds
shut up.
great. It just has a different name
Yeah.
on it. That's it.
Dude, right. If it sounds good, it sounds good. I don't who cares?
Yeah. Well, apparently lots of
Okay.
people, but
Well,
not
yeah.
us.
Yeah, I don't care what people use. I know I care what I use, but
Yeah.
that's about it. So,
Yeah.
whatever. That's fine.
What have you
Yeah.
been doing with your day? How's today been for? Oh, hang on. It's early for you, right? Because we're on very different time zones. So you've.
Yeah, it's in the morning. I've only been up for a couple of hours. However, I got up early for you. I got
Oh,
showered. I
wow.
decided to shower for you. Yeah. Even though you can't smell through the yeah. But I'm on my third cup of coffee. We just did a tour announcement. I have another I think I have a podcast to do, and then I have rehearsal. And somewhere in there I might get some lunch.
Sounds like the
It's a very
perfect
busy
day.
day. You know what? Yeah, and you are the start to my day, sir. So
Oh.
don't screw it up. Don't make
No,
my day bad.
I've got a
Okay?
good feeling. I got a really good feeling.
Same.
It dipped a little bit when you said it was morning. I thought, oh goodness, what am I going to do with that? But we're all good.
No,
I think,
no,
I,
no.
I think I'm bringing it back.
You are. You're reeling it back. So your shirt says "Brothers and Sisters of Fuzz."
Yes.
If you had, oh, that's a great shirt. Where did you get that shirt? Is that yours? That's not
It
yours.
is not my shirt, sadly. It is from the Facebook group Fuzztopia, hence the name, and it was gifted to me by Alex from Xander Effects because I did some videos for him, and he said, "Well,
I need one of those,
I
need
will,
one of those for
I
sure.
will sort you out." But I think
dude.
the color ones were limited, but leave it with me.
Sure.
I'll punch the correct people in the correct order.
So
I have no authority. I don't know what I'm talking about. I probably can't get you a
I'll-
shirt. But for the
I'll
purpose of the
sort it
video,
out.
it's
I'll
done.
sort it. I'll
Let
sort it.
me get a
if
pen.
that's cool.
Hang on.
Yeah. If you had to, if you had to choose, I'm asked this question all the time, so I get excited when I get to ask others this question. If you had to choose a single desert island fuzz, what would it be and why?
Right now, it would be the Boss FZ2 because I know the hype. I bought it, obviously, well, not obviously, but used, and I paid a lot for it. I plugged it in, and it just instantly made me happy. And fuzz makes me happy, generally speaking.
Sure.
Some make me more happy than others. Some you have to work with. Some I don't get along with. I like splitty, spitty, nasty fuzzes.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, but this FZ2 would go from usable fuzz to fun fuzz.
Okay.
That being said, I have one right here. That's called Fuzzy McFuzzface.
Oh my God.
And
Greatest
there's
name
only
ever.
one in the world of these because it was made by a guy here in Austria who just makes pedals for fun. And I tried to get him to release some more and maybe do some work with him to help him release it. He just doesn't have the time. So maybe I'm taking the circuit and getting someone else to do it with his permission. That's a cracking, spitty, nasty, like kind of fuzz, like Chewbacca on the toilet fuzz. It's horrible.
Wow. So I like the muffs. I'm a big. I love the electro harmonics circuits.
Yeah.
But that's funny that you said the FC2. I didn't know those things went like those are worth quite a bit of money, aren't they?
I can't remember what I paid, but it was. I've systematically forgotten how much I paid for it, so that I don't worry about it.
We block out trauma, don't we? Like
Yeah,
that's what we tend to do emotionally.
It just arrived one day, and then I didn't eat for a week, so it was a good week.
So when I was I don't know, I think I was. When did those come out? Do you know? It was in the 90s, right?
I believe so.
Okay, so we were just talking before this started about how old I am. I remember being 17 years old, and there was the local music store that me and my buddies used to walk to. It was like a couple of miles, and we would stop at the local Taco Bell, and because you could get a double-decker taco for 99 cents, so it was $1, and you could have some lunch. And then we would walk around the corner to the music store, and they had this really cool, those gray molded Boss displays that they used to have. It was like a big pedal board.
Yeah,
it was
like a suitcase.
It was the half. It was like a half circle.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was the one you could just try all the Boss pedals. And I remember, and we used to go there like literally every week, and the guy would be like, "Again, you're too young to buy anything. Like, what are you doing?" And we're just like, "Oh, let us try it. We might buy something." I remember when they got the FC2 in, and I remember those things brand new. And being kids, I didn't think, because I was a Smashing Pumpkins nut, it didn't sound anything like that, and I thought it was an awful pedal at the time. I didn't know anything, right? It was like the sputtery kind of like, it sounded like a Rolling Stones record or something. Like, what the hell? It was awful. And then like fast forward 25 years later, I was like, wait, they're worth how much? Like, what? I'm pretty sure I had one and gave it away in like 1999.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I started with a big muff pie, the classic big one.
Same.
And I accidentally discovered cocked wah muff fuzz combination because I could never be heard in a mix. And back then I had no idea what I was doing and just making noise. And, it's continued. But that time I had a wah and a fuzz, and I just cocked the wah, and every time it would cut through. I never understood the issue. I was always turning louder, as people do.
Of course.
But then the op-amp EHX fuzz is stunning. Again, with the Smashing Pumpkins reference, it's just brilliant.
It's probably in my top 3 fuzz pedals, favorite fuzzes of all time. That op-amp is just so good. So good.
Yeah,
cool.
It's... Well, any fuzz, really. There's only a few fuzzes that I'm not into.
What do you not like, if you don't mind saying? Like,
not
like... Not hate, not talk shit or anything, but like, what do you not prefer? What's a pedal you don't prefer?
The DOD, and I'm a massive fan of DOD, and I have a collection, so that's why I have it. Is it it's the blue one, no.
Oh,
Flashback fuzz.
There you go.
Flashback fuzz. It's just a bit meh, it's just. Yeah. But I want to love it because it's the DOD, and I am obsessed with DOD pedals.
I have the same model, and I found a new old stock one basically in the box. But my very first distortion pedal was a DOD Supra distortion, the 3-knob red pedal. and it was from like 1993. I started playing in the summer of 94, and I didn't understand like channel switching, that concept, because like I would play and I'm like, well, how do they switch the sound? And my uncle explained like, oh, well, they have a pedal and you step on it and it changes the sound, and that's what pedals do, and they make all sorts of different sounds. And I was like, oh. And that Supra distortion back then, it was in the Musician's Friend catalog, and I ordered it for $35.
Man,
that's how much they were, because they were cheaper. They were the poor man's boss, basically, at the time.
My first was a DOD. It was the FX59, the overdrive. Oh no, 50 FX50, which was like 50. The 250, but smaller circuit or something. It was.
Dude, the DOD stuff was really good.
I know. And now I want to show. Again, I've got stuff to show you. I want to, because we're talking DOD.
Please.
I got this.
Oh, does it have the battery box or the battery cover? Yes, it does. Oh, wow.
Do you know why it's got the battery cover? It's new old stock.
Shut up.
I got it from Greece with the box and everything, and it's even got the original battery in there.
And how many thousands of dollars did you pay for that?
I paid the equivalent.
I'm just kidding. I'm not. You don't have to tell me.
$300 I paid for it.
What?
I know. But it sounds wonderfully awful. I love it.
Dude, I had a buddy at that time, again, going back to the fuzz thing and going, what the hell is this? I had a buddy who ordered one of those brand new off the Musician's Friend catalog, or the American Musical Supply catalog, or whatever it was at the time. And I remember getting that and going, what the hell? Oh, I'm pretty sure he returned it. Like, it was just, we didn't get it.
I admit it's partly because I wanted it for the collection, partly because it's so weird, and as a YouTube guitar content creator, that's fun. And also, I justified it by saying it's an investment.
Well, I mean, you're not far off.
No.
I mean, especially right now, the used market is unbelievable. I mean, that's that's the whole basis of like I do these ridiculous reverb listings videos. That's literally the entire basis, because early on in COVID, I was like, what in the hell is happening? Like, are you serious? You're really going to ask 10 grand for an EVH Music Van?
Yeah.
Like, are you out of your mind? And now things with the supply chains with the new stuff have gotten so scarce, it's driven everything to the used market. And I don't know how it is over there, but over here in the States, like, you can't find anything for anything. There was a Revision F rectifier that pre-COVID was worth, I don't know, about $2,000. One the other day I was told went for $5,000 because of the hype and like all the old stuff. It's basically doubled in price. Everything is doubled over here in the used market. It's crazy.
I don't think it's that bad, specifically in Austria as well, because it's a very small country. And there is a classified section, like a website for like a Craigslist. And there must be a few guys here in Austria that know stuff, because as soon as something comes up, and I have a DOD search agent, for example, I'm like, is that still available? And you have to buy it straight away. But the prices are not that bad. I don't think people are that clued in here. Or they weren't until I said that.
You're welcome.
Mistake. Thanks, man.
Yeah, I'm glad I brought that up. People in Austria, go buy up all the DOD stuff.
No. The next thing I'm gasping for is a Lasis Quad Reverb, which I had back in the day.
Oh, wow.
I heard some Smashing Pumpkins. There's like a Univibe sound, and apparently it came from a Quad Reverb from a Lasis.
Is that the rack mount unit? Yeah. Okay. Wow.
So I may have sent an email to a person about 10 minutes before we started speaking. So
okay, today on Hoarders.
Oh, mate,
it's
you
an
don't know the half of it.
Dude,
apparently this is my job, but I just, hoard. Hoard is the correct word. Collect is the wrong word.
So I was reading, it was like this article about like how to know if like you're a drug addict, and like the things to know if drugs are affecting your life, drugs and alcohol are affecting your life.
Okay, I'm ready.
Does it get in the way of spending time with your family and loved ones?
Yes.
Does it? Is it the first and last thing that you think of before you go to sleep?
No.
You're lying. You're lying.
No, because the last thing
That's what I'm like. Yes, I'm like I'm reading this list of like all these signs that you're an addict for drugs and alcohol, and I was like, oh my god, that's me. I mean, with gear, maybe drugs would be cheaper. I don't know, but like, oh god, that's me. Like, is it getting in the way of your loved ones, and like, is it affecting your day-to-day routine? I was like, yes, yes, it is, very much so.
It's only not the last thing I think about, because the last thing I'm doing when I go to bed is checking social medias and YouTube numbers,
Yeah.
which I guess is gear related. So it's certainly under the umbrella of problem.
Yeah.
But then I read, so, you know.
Maybe it's time for an intervention.
So people watching this, everybody unsubscribe to both our channels and stop us before we can't stop ourselves.
Well, I mean, here's the thing though, like, and bless the viewers. I love, like, the people that watch my stuff. I love them more than I could ever express. I am able to do something that's really, really cool. However, it is a bit of a double-edged sword, because the second I say I like something, I instantly have 50 people in my inbox going, hey, I got one of those. You want to buy it? Hey, can I give this to you? Can I, hey, I have an old 70s Gibson RD. You want it? Like, I'm just like, oh, God, guys, no. Like, it's bad. It's real bad. It's like they're enablers.
Right. Well, you have my email address, so, just slip it in that CC. And I don't have an RD, and I dig them so hard.
It's funny that I got mine right before the rest of the world really kind of got hip to them, I feel like, because I got mine, like, I got my first one that's back here, directly behind me in, was it 2014, in the back of a VW bus, like a van. He pulled up, this old man, I got this like in I think he was like the original owner or something like that. And it still has his like contact info from the 70s scratched into the scratch plate inside on the control cavity and shit. Wow. I got it for $1,500. And that seemed like a lot at the time. I was like, I don't know, but it was like totally original and untouched. And then I got my RD Artist from Chicago Music Exchange a year later for $1,600. And now, like, they're on Reverb going for $3,000 and shit. Yeah. I was just like, whoa, thanks, Ghost. And I guess to some degree me. But
yeah, absolutely you.
I'll only take partial credit, but I just thought they were just super, super cool guitars. Yeah, the coolest guitars ever, man. So
I went home because I'm for those that don't know, I live in Austria, but I'm from England, hence the accent and the terrible German. I went home to Gloucestershire. And there was my old music shop, the place that I would go on the bus and go up to. And that closed down many years ago. But one had opened just up the road above a shoe shop.
Oh.
And I went in, and it turns out the guy ran the shoe shop and the music shop, which is a strange combination. So and then I'm like, is there a music shop upstairs? Yeah. I said, who do I need to talk to? He said, well, me. Can I go up? What are you going to do? Look at the guitars? Okay. Up there were two Ripper basses. There were 3 Jag-Stangs. There were several Mustangs, several Jaguars, and 2 RDs. So there was basically a Nirvana haven up there, plus the Fender Ultra Twin amp, plus a load of this sort of era stuff, and it was fairly affordable. Like the bass was, I think, about £1,500, so about $2,000.
Wow.
The guitars were around about $1,000 each, like not silly prices. And I said, okay, I have to buy something, and he wouldn't let me buy it. So it was one of those places where he has a shop, but I think he's just really got a collection that has price tags on it. It was a real shame.
Wow.
Still haven't recovered.
Maybe that's no, honey. I'm trying to sell the stuff.
Nobody comes in. They just want shoes.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. That sucks, dude. An RD is I'm asked all the time about the guitars, and like I know the guys at Gibson, and I have thought about going, how much would it cost me to just get one made proper? Because my problem with all of the reissues is they're short scale. That's not what they were, except for the last year, but we can nerd into that if you want. But
that didn't happen.
Most of the original lifespan of the RD, they were 25.5-inch scale, and that's what made them really cool. On top of being all maple and like just heavy as shit. Like my guitar's like 13 pounds.
Whoa.
Which is just insane. Yeah, they're just crazy heavy. But all the reissues are short scale, and like, the controls are different, and they're made out of mahogany. I'm like, man, make me an all maple 25.5-inch scale one, man. I'll pay for it. But,
sending out good vibes to you, man. I think that should really, really happen.
I should contact Caesar and just be like, yo, make me, dude, it would probably cost me a fortune. Probably cost me like $5 or $6 grand. It'd be cool to know if I could even get it. I don't know.
What would be the pain point at which you'd have to say no? The price that they
monetarily?
Say, yeah.
I mean, dude, because like the reissues that are incorrect are like, what, $3 grand or something? So $3 grand, I guess. But like a custom shop Gibson would be double that right away.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And then you got to worry about like, I don't know. There's all sorts, there's politics that go into all of those things. Cause then it's like, okay, well, if you want to make some content around it, but then like, I'm an endorsed artist with other companies that are not Gibson. And so then it gets real murky, and it's why?
I don't want to dig too hard into that. Just assume that it's too complicated, people watching this.
It would just be complicated. That's what it would be. But that's okay. Dude, speaking of politics, did you ever hear from Boss at all about your clone?
Nice segue. Yes, I did, because I contacted them before I made the video.
Okay, I can't help but think they got just destroyed with emails and social media asking.
So did Guitar Center. So did Chicago Music. I had emails from music shops saying, "You're a dick." Like, basically.
Oh my dude.
People emailing me like, also extremely honest people, like saying, sure. I went into Guitar Center and I asked for this. When I say this pedal, I mean this pedal. I went into Guitar Center and I asked for it, and they didn't know what I was talking about. And so I showed them your video, and that's when I realized it was all a big joke. And I feel really stupid. And that's what people were so honest to. I never intended for that. I just intended to have a laugh. It was, as you can probably imagine, an obscene amount of work.
I saw the video, yeah.
It was one of those thoughts I had in the shower, like when you're totally free, your mind is not focused on anything at all.
Like clothes, right?
Yeah, clothes or being dry or actually cleaning oneself. Being too clean, maybe. And I'm like, I could make that. That would be hard work. And once it entered that, I have this thing, once that thought, whatever that thought is, enters my mind, it has to come out in some sort of manifestation.
I guess because the video was quite successful, I think it's almost at 100,000 views at this point, as of this morning, I think.
I haven't checked. I don't check my numbers.
Yeah, you do. But I had a question.
Sure.
The brown rubber that you got off of the Fender pedal, is that pedal itself not worth like $300-400? Oh, dude. I was like, I saw that and I was like, no. And I Googled that pedal. I was like, God damn it. I don't know if I agree with this anymore. But you went all in. And you know what? I appreciate that, because I was sent that video. I have to tell you, I was sent that video probably 50 times from 50 different people going, bro, did you see this? They did it. They did it. And my first reaction, the very first second I saw it go, I went, that's not real. There's no fucking way. They would never. Like that from a marketing standpoint, that doesn't make sense from like this big corporation. We're going to copy this pedal. Like that doesn't make, no, that's not what Boss does. And I was just like, nope. But man, that's really good. And then you had me guessing for, no, that can't be real. No.
Well, that was kind of the aim was to be very clear that it was fake, but then give that little hint that it might not be, and then be really honest it was fake again. And, you know, just really dragging people in. And I just had an amazing time not making the video. That was pretty stressful. That was hard. But actually releasing the video was great fun. And I did have fun making it, but I must have sprayed this thing genuinely 10 to 15 times, like not happy with the way the spray was going, and I could only hold it at a certain angle, because if you do look like there's a blemish there that Boss would of course not let out. Yeah, it was hella fun.
Bravo, dude. It was well done. Nice troll.
I did write to Boss before I did it and said, look, I'm going to do this. I don't think you want in, but if you want in, you're welcome in. And the people I spoke to, they wrote back. We're quite close. And the person I was talking to said, that's hilarious. That's really funny. But on a business level globally, we can't support that and we'll ignore it. I'm like, funny. So, I mean, unofficially endorsed. Yeah.
Yeah. I've so with my Reverb videos, I am close, actual real life friends, old friends with Jim, who runs all of Reverb. He is everything trees up to him, Jim Turk. And hi Jim, if you see this. And I released that first Reverb, not thinking too much of it, and it kind of blows up. And he texts me. He was like, "Dude, this is fucking hilarious." So like, we're passing this video around the office. Like, it was in like the internal like bulletin of like, hey, daily news, everyone, check this out. This is fucking hilarious. Remember Fluff? But like, they can't ever, because like, he's like, I just, officially, we can't ever sponsor a video. We would love to sponsor, and I've worked with them in the past on many things, but he's like, we can't touch those videos. And I was like, yeah, of course you can't. But it'd be cool if you did.
Speaking of Reverb, I put that on Reverb, and it was taken down after about 7 minutes. I put it up for about $600,000, I think, some random arbitrary number, and it was taken down because a subreddit complained because they thought I was a dick. And they're right. But, yeah,
they are right. There was that happens. Something I never thought about the Reverb videos is, not that I tell anybody to do anything, but a lot of people will take it upon themselves on a particular listing if they really are chuffed by it or something. They will go and start bombing that listing and flagging it and sending them real nasty messages and calling them an asshole. And I was like, man, don't do that. That wasn't my intent. So then I get very angry messages from some sellers. Really,
did you post about it on your social media? I mean, maybe on Instagram or something. I remember seeing something, you dissuading people from doing that, and saying something about asking people not to do it.
One of the times, the Tom DeLonge guitar. So yes. He posted this. He was like, it's a rare prototype showing no proof whatsoever. And that was basically the basis of my argument is, if you're going to say it's one thing, you better show me proof before asking me to spend $10,000 on this fucking guitar. Right. Well, it turns out that guitar is like the original prototype that Tom DeLonge had and initially played in like the Feel It video. It's the actual guitar. And he does have proof from multiple sources. Now, he didn't provide any of that on the listing, which was my issue with it, right? So apparently Tom DeLonge's fans are very, very mean if you cross them. They started bombing this dude with like hundreds of flags and messages, so much so that he contacted Reverb customer service going, hey, I don't know what to do here. Reverb then goes, hang on, let's call Fluff. Boop, 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 boop. I get a call from Reverb going, hey, we know you didn't, you know, we saw the video. We know you didn't tell anybody to do that, but could you tell them not to do that? And I was like, you really want me to do that? You really want me to draw more attention to it? And they were like, yes. And I was like, okay. And so I did. I reached out to him. Like, there was a video that another YouTuber did. I reached out to him at that time, and I was just like, hey, man, aside from the video, I am sorry that, like, the fans are bombing you. And he was like, oh, and he had revised his listing to rant the first 2 paragraphs about how much of an asshole I was, and then it was the listing, which is against the Reverb guidelines. You can't do that. This is a so he got taken down several times. He was like, look, I shouldn't have done that. And I was like, look, I'm sorry for what the fans did. I'm not apologizing for the video, but I am sorry that, like, all these dickheads are bombing you. And he was like, yeah, we're cool. And we were cool. Like, it was fine. But that's not, damn, people.
I actually saw the follow-up video before I saw the original video, which you're absolutely right, it did draw more attention to the subject, because I was more interested in the, busy guy also, but when I saw you posted an update, I was like, I'm going to watch that and then watch the original. And I'm going to also say that I love Tom DeLonge and every one of his fans. Same. They're the best people.
I do too. I'm not saying I don't. However, like, the second I post anything, so now no more Tom DeLonge anything. Like, I know his tech and stuff. Like, I know folks, and, like, they get a good laugh out of it. Tom thinks it's hilarious that his guitars go for so much. He's like, I should have hung on to all mine. Damn, because he's sold most of his. But, anytime I'm like, oh yeah, I think I don't think it was made, and then I'll always have 50 emails going, actually on May 6, 2003, he got his first prototype and it was delivered in a GMC minivan. But so, like, oh my god, okay. Like, chronologically, they know Tom's life by the hour since 2001.
It's freaky, isn't it?
It's like, damn.
I mean, they probably know all the big things and all the small things as well.
Say it. Oh, you should have leaned into it a little harder. They really are aware of all the small things in his life.
It had to come out. I'm sorry, dude.
That was good. No, it was good. It was good.
Thanks.
Bravo.
Thanks. Let's segue seamlessly into the course that you've been doing, and one of the reasons I reached out to you. Let's have a look at it. So it's there it is. Oh no! Hang on a second. I've disappeared.
No, that's fine. No, that's fine.
Where are you, you beast? There we go.
Hey.
Let's have a look at it. It's the Creator's Guide to Recording and Mixing, sir.
Yeah.
So I'm a creator, and I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I just bluff everything. So I think this might be the course for me.
I think it might be. When I started this YouTube thing, I do these in the mix, like, mixed demos of gear and amps or whatever, because I like that, and it's just a fun element for me to do, to be creative with a particular amp, guitar, pedal, whatever. And I don't think there was a distinction ever made when I was coming up, but, like, doing something for the intent of releasing it into social media is not the same as making a record. And a lot of people like to pretend it is. Well, a lot of people like to pretend, oh, I spent an hour on the snare, or I spent 4 hours moving mics around on these overheads. Well, why? People are going to watch on their iPhones. It doesn't matter. Sadly, it doesn't matter. And so there is an element of, well, this is good enough, but the course is geared around making things efficient and sounding great, and then using what you have left as a template for future recordings. So then you can do less work and spend less time going forward to get a great sound in your music, like guitars, bass, all that kind of stuff.
That's all you need, just those two.
That's all you need.
Absolutely, I agree with your approach there, the template thing. Until I started doing templates, I was working so hard and so inefficiently.
Same.
It's like, what was I doing? Like, start a new project from scratch. Let's add the vocal mic. Let's add the mic on the cab. Let's add the DI.
Right, yeah.
What a fool.
Dude, I did it for, I'm not even going to say how many years I did that, but it was years before I saw someone was like, you can just clear the tracks and save all that as a template. So it's just like that when you come back to a new one. I was like, what?
Huh?
I've wasted so much time. But honestly, I mean, we go through programming MIDI drums. We go through bass guitar, dialing in and recording guitar DIs and actual tracks, and then putting it all together. And I go throughout my layout, and I start from a blank project. And I don't know, it's what I do and how I do my stuff. And it's just me kind of sharing and opening up into and letting people in emotionally.
Oh, man. Is there a specific chapter on that I can skip to? Because I haven't seen all of the course yet, and I'm mostly interested in the emotional side of your journey.
Well, I think, the actual emotional chapter is, I'm still working on it. I'm still working through it. But everything else is there, though.
It sounds like you're pretty close to the end of that one.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea for a course because, I would be in deep trouble if I didn't mention him. My friend Benji is a massive fan of yours and what you do. And
tell him I said thank you.
You can say it yourself. He's probably watching this. His name is Benji.
Thanks, man. Thanks for watching.
He's in the band Curious, and they make some music here in Austria, and they're making music. They're not just, they're recording it, they're doing it all themselves. So courses like yours are very applicable for them. And
love that.
Yeah, so they're waiting for us to do this video to decide if they're going to buy the course or not.
They should.
I think they should as well. So
they should.
Yeah, but let's just look at it as well. There's a lovely picture of you with some guitars there.
Yeah,
I mean, that says it all.
I have a couple of guitars.
You're a Logic user as well, of course. I am too a Logic user.
I am, although I do want to, I get asked this all the time. The course isn't DAW specific. So anything I do in Logic is totally applicable to Reaper, Pro Tools, Cubase, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, everything, it's just a means to an end at the end of the day. But that's what I learned on. I did learn a bit of other DAWs, and I got stuck with Logic, and I'm still there.
I started out on Reaper and then went to Logic, and then I went to Cubase, and then I went to Studio One, and back to Logic. So that's my DAW journey.
Wow. Well, I started out Cubase, I think. Yeah, in case people are wondering. In case you're wondering, everybody, it was Cubase.
I was wondering.
Yeah, for that trivial questionnaire we have every month. What was Andy's first DAW?
How long was it till you moved on to Logic?
Well,
like
it was back when it wasn't Mac specific. Do you remember those days when it was also available on PC?
Wow.
And my friend Matt, he had the Logic with the CDs, I believe, and the big old manual. And I thought that looks interesting, but I believe it would have been when I got a Mac, which was 2011-ish.
Was it not called Logic Studio?
Yes.
Back in the day?
I believe so.
Yeah, the big giant box. I first saw it, 2010-ish. A buddy of mine had it, and I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah, but again, it's just a means to an end. I like the MIDI capabilities of Logic. I like, just drop it. And now the drummers, just to be specific about Logic for a moment, the drummer that's in Logic saves me a lot of time.
I think if you're a single, like if you're not a group, if you're a single creative musician person, Logic is often the way to go because, I mean, the MIDI instruments it comes with are just the amount of stuff that it comes with for a one-time payment of $300 is incredible. I mean, honestly, and the quality of the stuff is so good. So, I don't know. It's pretty tough to beat, honestly.
I think it's a good investment. I've also messed with other DAWs, but I can never decide on DAW or DAW. What did you say?
I think I call it most of the time. I call it a DAW.
I always skip between these two, and
I do too. I like the fact that DAW sounds just like DAW. I don't know. Like I love it and squeeze it DAW. Like I don't know. That's what I think of when I say DAW.
DAW.
I
Yeah,
don't
it
DAW.
sounds good when you say it,
DAW.
but when I say it, it sounds like I'm trying to sound like you. Does that make sense?
DAW.
Like DAW,
Yeah.
DAW. Have you been playing in your DAW recently with your DAW house?
I saw you. I saw you come through the DAW. Wait, that doesn't. Well, that's like
But then,
that sounds like a brummy. Like oh, I saw you from the DAW. Like I don't know.
that's
Yeah,
I don't know what that is, but I I liked it.
I don't know. I don't know.
I felt at
That's a
home
Fight
for a
Club
moment
reference.
then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a Fight Club reference. Yeah. Anyway,
in the ear. Um,
in blue one from my mouth. I don't know. I don't speak, Pikey.
DAW just sounds too like I'm trying to be too intelligent. Like
Oh,
I'm
that's
above
interesting.
my station, you know. Like, oh, who's he think he
Yeah.
is with his DAW?
Yeah, that's like when you're at a party and you whip out with like the one word, and they're just like, "Where did you just read that this morning?" And you're like, "What are you talking about? I live for specificity." And they're like, "Okay, there you see, you did it again." And you're like, "What? Specificity I use all the time."
I know I'm going to say that word in this conversation now.
Specificity?
Specificity.
You do live for specificity, though. You do like to be specific, do you
I
not?
do. I like to be very Pacific.
Yeah.
So if people buy your course, what can they achieve at the end that they couldn't achieve at the beginning? Like what problem does it solve?
Okay, so by the end of the course, well, they're going to have the aforementioned template, but they're also going to get a better sense globally of how the individual pieces kind of come together. Because really, I think a lot of the people that would get the course are lone guitar players that are looking to put together their own music and want it to actually sound good. And so learning how the individual moving pieces and there's some kind of at the very end, you get this package and you get this finished thing. So going through all of the steps and learning how to, utilize an EQ, the rhythm guitars to fit in with the bass guitar and the drums and all this kind of stuff. I think it's just zooming out a little bit and kind of, getting out of the comfort zone of, okay, I know this guitar and I know I really like this guitar tone, but outside of that, I'm not really sure. So it's zooming out a little bit and getting more song oriented as well. So I don't know. I think it's really informative. I wish there was something like this when I was starting out, because otherwise I wouldn't have had to spend 9 or 10 years learning and screwing up on my own in order to get to this
Yeah,
point.
where were you, man? Where the hell were you? How dare you?
Dude. Oh, I used to be so, man. Yeah. Lots of mistakes were made. Lots of mistakes.
Yeah, I only learn from mistakes, so I'm a very hard person
Honestly.
to educate. It just doesn't work anymore. I have to
Yeah, same.
touch the hot thing until I realize it's hot and I burnt myself. Then do it a few more times and then realize that okay.
Don't stick a fork in that power. Like, yeah, that's
Too late. So are there any more courses in the in the works? Is this going well? Is it worth for you to do something else? Do you have more to share?
Yeah, I'm thinking about doing some other recording oriented ones. Like I'm thinking about doing a reamping masterclass on how and the ins and outs of reamping, because I still think, I don't know, I get asked some pretty simple stuff, and I think there's a lot of mystery still around the ins and outs of reamping and why you would even want to do that. That's stupid. Like, that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I'll probably do some reamping stuff. I've thought about doing a how to make a YouTube video course as well, getting into like the camera lighting stuff. I don't know. That would be a big course though.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That'd be a long course.
Do you want to encourage more guitar YouTubers? Is it something
I don't. No.
this breeding the competition, as it were?
No. Yeah. Well, that's the other reason too. I'm just like, why? Why would I do that?
Give
So,
away all the fluff secrets, and then we have more
hmm
fluffs, and then
right.
original fluff hopefully can
hmm
retire on a yacht. But if not, then no job for fluff.
Then I'm gonna come live with you, right?
That's fine. Absolutely fine.
All right. Cool. You
No
have room,
problem.
right?
Yeah, I mean, I've got my fluff room. I've been waiting to fill it with the fluff.
I walk in and like there's all these photos of me with like lipstick smeared on them. I'm like, oh boy,
And
what
these
have I
red
done?
lines joining dots, like he was here,
Yes.
then he went to this guy in this minivan with this RD from the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Creepy.
yeah. And then I got his email address, and I'm talking to him on this program that crashes all the time.
And that's how it started.
Yeah. Well, we're kind of
Yeah.
halfway through, actually, if I'm honest, but I've been working on this for a long time.
All going according to plan.
Yeah, so I've just got a few boxes to tick. Wonderful. Dude, I feel we should leave the people wanting more and promise them to come back again at some point.
Yeah. Well, actually, next time you should come on my channel.
It would be an honor. I'd
And
love to.
then, And then we'll talk more about fuzzes and nerdy shit.
I'll bring some more. I have more to hand, because I've only got that, and
Okay.
I've got more fun stuff.
Sounds good, dude. Thank you so much for having me, dude. It was a
Thank
lot
you.
of fun. Good hang. Good hang.
Yeah, it was brilliant. It's taken a while to get us sorted, of course, because we're both extremely important, extremely busy people. Yeah,
It's a good thing though, right? It's better than not like having like tons of time.
yeah. I remember those days. I used to get bored. Do you remember being bored?
I do. Long time ago.
Yeah. Well,
Many
don't
years
be
ago, and I
bored.
was
Go
like-
and buy Fluff's course and then learn loads
Yeah.
of stuff and then
Please
never
do.
be bored again.
Yeah. True. Facts.
Yeah. All right. Then
dude.
people watching this, leave your comment down below. What was your favorite Fluff moment during this video? Let us know. I'm interested to know that answer. And try and guess how many coffees you're going to have for the rest of the day. I'm going to guess at 6 more. 5.
Ooh.
Okay. Oh, I went high.
You were close.
I was close.
I'll make it 6. I'll make it 6.
Thanks, dude.
Challenge accepted.
Well, I'm going to go and play guitar because I do that
right.
occasionally. And again, thank you for your time, mate. I will speak to you very, very soon.
All right, dude. Thank you.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Cheers.